Good morning, good morning. PCT day number 8. It's officially 1 week on trail. We got a shuttle back to the trail from our town day from the marketplace in Montezuma.
I have to call that a town day in quotation marks.
Yeah.
Not much of a
Town.
but we had the facilities we needed.
Yep. So we're hiking again. It's like 9:30. We're in already by a mile. We're going to do about maybe 15 miles today. We'll see. But yeah, how'd you sleep, TP?
Oh, it was wonderful.
I slept great too. So look, it's cows. Woo! She's videotaping too. It's pretty cool. Walking through this little valley here. Look at this. You probably can't hear me very well, but there's a cow on trail. The audacity! See? Oh, he finally crossed it. The other 2, 3, I can count, seem like they're gonna cross too. I really shouldn't walk and film, especially with it zoomed that much. So shaky. Sorry. I fell! Okay, go.
Oh, almost fell in.
Oh no, this poor little egg. Look at this little egg. Oh, oh well, keep going. Looks like dinosaur eggs. We're actually going up to that set of rocks up there. And very famous rocks here on the PCT. And you'll see why when we get there. Maybe you can see it already. Maybe not. Especially since the camera woman is so jiggly. She'll probably edit this out because it's so bad. But that's okay. Blistery day. So we are at the famous Eagle Rock, and Sketch is over there sketching what she's seeing. Cool. But I'll flip this around and you'll be able to see why it's called Eagle Rock. That's why it's called Eagle Rock. Well, hopefully you can hear me over the wind. We were just in Warner Springs, and it's spring break right now for them, so the recreational center was actually open to hikers, and 2 trail angels brought us pizza, so we got some pizza, and it was quite yummy, so we had some pizza for lunch, and then we got some water, although today we have plenty of water as opposed to yesterday and the day before. Well, I guess yesterday was a town day, so it doesn't really count, but yeah, plenty of water right now. We're gonna cross some streams up ahead too, so yeah. And the elevation has been really lovely. So it's been pretty easy miles. More than welcome, especially before we head up into San Jacinto and get a lot of elevation. Tomorrow's gonna be a lot of up. So yeah, we got some wonderful trail magic. Anything to say about Warner Springs?
It was very nice.
Yeah.
And porta potties.
Yes, I did. A pizza. So I haven't readdressed my sunglass thing. So when we were at Montezuma Market, I went to see if they have sunglasses and they do not. So instead, there was a hiker there that had just bought some super glue that was staying with us, Sebastian. And so he let me borrow some to super glue the lens back in and then the crack, so it's super glued together. But I still wasn't going to trust it for the next 70-ish miles, so I re-leuco-taped it, and I actually made it so that I can see almost without any obstruction. I have a little bit right here where the matches are, and then a little right here from the matches. I should have pushed them further that way, but yeah, that's why they look different, and yet still the same. I most likely will get new ones in Idlewild in 5-ish days, but you know, if not, I don't. It's what it is. This'll work. It's worked so far today. It's a little more sturdy than the last, so that's good. In fact, some people are encouraging me maybe just take them all the way to Canada, but we shall see.
Okay, to keep our minds active and alive while we were out here on this trail, we've come up with kind of everyday something to do. And today is Wednesday, and we're going to call it What? Wednesday. And this is where we take kind of your questions that you might have asked in comments, or questions that we had before that we are finding out the answers to, or just things that we find kind of like, what? And answer. And today we're going to take one from our private Facebook group, which means it's a good dear friend of ours. And Joy asked us if we had a guide and how many people started with us. So to answer the second part of that question, how many started, the PCTA, what's the word, hands out 50 permits per day from the beginning of March to the end of May.
We're going the way we're
going. We're going north. And it is a blanket permit that basically gets you all the permits from Mexico to Canada all in one. So you don't have to stop at little towns and get the little permit. Like we've gone through the Cleveland National Forest already. We would have needed a separate permit for that. When we get into Oregon, we'll need a separate permit. All of those things we would have to get individually. Well, the PCTA gives us kind of like a blanket permit for all of those and works for all of those. So thank you, PCTA. And so that the trail can support how many hikers a day, they've come up with the number 50. So that's how many people could have started with us. But we rode out in a shuttle with only 7 hikers, us included in that 7. And we are the only 2 that started hiking that day. The other 5 stayed in a little campground there at the border, about a half mile from the border, and then they started a later date. In fact, we've run into 2 of them. They've caught up with us today, or yesterday, or the day before. I can't remember when. But anyway, so that answers the second part of your question. But to answer the first part, do we have a guide? No. Do we wish we had a guide? Yes. Do we wish we had a Sherpa? Oh, heck yeah. But we do have guides.
Is our guide.
So we do have a GPS app. That's the word. An app called
Elevation.
It's called Far Out. It used to be called Gut Hooks. But today it's an alpha, or this year it changed its name to Far Out, which is totally fine. I'm not the maker of it. You can do whatever you want to.
Tells you info about all of the different wave points, water, campsites, towns, and it has people who can comment, like hikers can comment to tell you whether or not the creeks or whatever, the water sources are reliable, or how the campsites are, if animals have been found around. Tells us the mileage we're at. So right now we're at PCT mile 111.3. So 111.3.
That's where we're at sitting right now.
Yep.
So that has been our main navigational guide. But before we came out to the PCT, so basically for the last 2 years since she had this crazy idea to do this, I personally have probably read 6 or 7 books, countless blogs, watched countless YouTube videos, and have taken copious amounts of notes and put them into a spreadsheet where it talks about each of the little towns, creeks, maybe there's a water cache or something. I've made note of all of those in a little spreadsheet. So our guide is literally what learned knowledge we have and what we bring into it. Now, granted, because my brain is so full of great, wonderful things as a 50-something-year-old, I have lots of knowledge in there. Okay, so I forget things. I've put it into a spreadsheet, which I've made it available offline so that we can, when we're planning, we can look through it and decide, you know what, we want to go to this little campsite. And that's kind of what we did today. We saw this little picnic area, and we said, let's go to that for a little siesta. So that's why we stopped here.
Yeah,
and
that's why we're leaning against something. It's a picnic table.
Yeah, we're sitting
Pretty
at a
nice.
picnic table. And I think that answers your question, and we would love for our viewers to give us more questions. So shoot us questions, because we have a Wednesday to fill.
And we'll probably have another thing for every day, and we'll talk about that more
I can't wait.
as the days come.
The reason we do it is because you have to be alone with your own thoughts for hours on hours, and these things like Wednesday gives us something to think about the whole time.
Instead of singing lyrics in your head over and over.
I still have Frere Jacques caught in my brain.
Mine has been like musicals. They keep playing on in my head, and
Mine's
gone through almost every Disney movie and every musical.
So that's what we're gonna do. I hope you enjoy.
Hi,
Hello.
welcome to Tent Talk.
We're doing it outside today because we are sleeping next to some friends of ours.
Yep, who we actually were shuttled to the PCT with, so it's pretty cool to see them again.
But and we wanted to do it in the light and at this beautiful creek where we're icing our feet.
Yep. We have our feet icing, so so this is our tent talk today. We finished hiking early today. We stopped at like 4, so a little early.
Well, not really, because this is where
stick.
Because this is where we wanted to end up. So
yeah, we were planning to end up here today anyway.
We got in
13.5 miles. Oh, and it's PCT day 8. It's been 1 week on trail.
We got 13.5 today. We're at PCT mile 114.7 at this little creek. Hopefully we're down enough that the wind won't get us, because it's been very windy.
It's been very windy.
We started it today in a very big windstorm, so. Okay, so what's your pretty?
My pretty today was Eagle Rock.
That was cool.
That was really cool, and I got so inspired to sketch, so that was really cool. In fact, why don't I put my sketch right here, just because I talked about it. Okay, what's your pretty?
My pretty was watching Jessica be in front of me as she was walking through the valleys that we were walking through with the grain, and it was the wind would move the grass, and it just looked so cool. It just was really pretty to watch her walk through the grain.
I do have to say that almost was my pretty today. Those valleys, it was pretty easy elevation today, and our feet have appreciated it. Taking 1 day off, you didn't realize how much it would hurt your feet, but it does.
Yeah.
Your feet have to build back up again.
So, what's your gritty?
My gritty is that we argued today. We were mad at each other for about 2 miles actually, and we argued. Do you mind if I say what the argument was about?
Sure.
I hike faster than she does, naturally. But I like to keep pace with her, which means I have to hold back because I don't want her to injure herself by going faster to match my pace. And because of that, we have not yet hit a 20, which I continually have been saying is okay, but she doesn't think I'm saying the truth, which is fine. We're all entitled to our own opinions, but it's causing a little bit of contention. But I mean, this is our first through hike. We have yet to fully get our trail legs. If we do not hit 20 miles a day until another 2 weeks, I don't care. I mean, we're past 100 miles. I'm so proud of us anyway. But she doubts that I'm saying the truth, and it does hurt, but we're working through it, and we're focusing on having a good day and just enjoying the hike. So we'll get through it. What was your gritty of the day?
My gritty, I had a tummy ache.
Yeah, she wasn't feeling so good at noon. Yeah,
It slowed me down a bit. So, tummy ache.
Yep.
Okay, do you have a be brave moment? I do.
I don't have a be brave moment.
There was a snake, a real snake on the trail. It was
Was
a
it a
little
little
guy,
garden snake?
but its head was towards me. And it wouldn't turn around to go away from me. And so I had to be brave to walk past it. That's my be brave moment.
Yeah, I don't think I had a be brave moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we did your sketch already. So here is
Our foot picture.
something cool water. And here's my shout out to my lovely granddaughters, Miss Pumpkinhead and Silly Goose. I love you so much. Grandma loves you, so rock on, and Grandma loves you, and we'll see you on the trails.